Hey guys, another video from the Anti-Nerd here, and today I'm gonna show my comic book collection and I'm gonna talk about my passion for comic books. I recently got that box there from Wolverine, and here's my 90s Spider-Man collection. As you guys know, I'm not from the US, so I have a lot of comic books in Brazil, but this one is my new collection that I've been doing in the US, and I only usually buy from the $1.50 bin because I like to scavenge there and see what I find. Those ones that I'm showing, I paid only 50 cents each, and I buy them mostly to read and take a look. I think you get a lot of fun with comics for less money than an action figure. And I also feel like it's very important to know comics to enjoy the action figures more, because then your connection with the source material is bigger, and you also get a lot of reference to posing. Look at the Scarlet Spider crazy poses. That inspires me a lot doing the Spider-Man poses with my Marvel Legends. And I like that the covers are so iconic. They put such an effort. The inkers are really good. They do a nice job of keeping the draws very much alive, intense, colorful. This edition is a little thicker, as I'm showing. Very cool. So only 50 cents for me is totally worth it. I don't buy comics to resell or to grade them to make money. I do feel like I could flip some of those to more money so I could pay for the hobby. But as of now, I'm not selling the comics. I'm mostly reading and having tons of fun with it. I usually focus on Spider-Man, X-Men, and Avengers. That would be my main comic books. But I also collect, of course, Captain America. It's one of my favorite characters in the comics. I've been trying to collect the Brubaker run, which I'll show you in a bit. It's in my other box. Look at this X-Force shiny covering. Very cool. Also, very cool this Wolverine shiny. But look at the effect of the cable right here. Holographic. Awesome. Very, very much cool. Daredevil from the 80s. My favorite drawers are John Romita Jr., Mark Bagley. Those guys influenced me a lot. Steve Ditko, I love him. So when I see a John Romita Jr. artwork in a comic, I usually get it, or a Mark Bagley. All those all-new X-Men are drawn by Mark Bagley, which I read Ultimate Spider-Man. That was the comic book that got me into comics when I was 11. So I've been collecting comics since I was 11 pretty much. Of course, some time I spend without buying comics, but I usually get back to comics every now and then and read them. It reminds me of my preteen years. I wasn't like the most party, as you can imagine. I was a nerd, of course. So I spent a lot of time drawing and dreaming about working for Marvel and doing Marvel comic books or whatever. This is the new Avengers. As you can see, there's some new amazing Spider-Man run, which for me quite doesn't compare to the 90s or 2000, because I think the 2000s were better. I really like this Straczynski run, but I don't find good Spider-Man comic books usually on the $50 bin. So that's why I was very surprised by that bin that I got, the 50-cent one, because I got it from a box that wasn't priced yet. So I was kind of lucky. As I told you guys, I live in Los Angeles, and Los Angeles does have a lot of good comic book shops, but there's also a lot of collectors and a lot of buyers here. So it's not as easy to find amazing comic books for cheap. But I feel like I've been getting lucky, because usually I buy 50 cents up to $2 comic books. And if I really want the comic book as, let's say, Ultimate Spider-Man, I buy them for a little more. But it's rare, because I prioritize getting the cheap comics, because you can get a lot of fun reading in the cheap bin. The Superior Spider-Man right there, I had to pay a cover price. Spider from the 90s there, Scarlet versus Kane, really amazing. Also, this is a reissue, right? I paid the cover price. But most of those that I'm showing, I think I paid 50 cents or $1 still. Daredevil, I think I paid $1 for those. But it's cool. It's not as common. I don't see much Daredevil or good Spider-Man comics in the $1 bin. Sometimes I don't see Daredevil at all, but I always see X-Force and those X-Men alternative teams storyline. As you can see, I have a bunch of Captain America of the Brubaker run. Jim Lee, X-Men from the 90s, very cool. Also, you can find it, but the good X-Men comics are not so much easy to find, but I think there is still a fun reading. X-Men is really good, touches a lot of interesting subjects. I was able to get these compilations that I show every now and then, also for a good price, sometimes usually less than $5. So yeah, I think comics deliver a lot. It's all about your imagination, right? Even when you touch the figures, is your way of being more connected to the artwork of the comics and creating your own. So I really like comic books. They're a big part of my repertoire regarding creativity and imagination. I think it's something that sticks in your mind, and it's also very good for framing video and film to know about comic books, because they basically create a panel of a, let's say, storyboard right before you shoot the film. So I feel like it's a useful skill if you're into video or film. Also, if you want to start doing your own videos, comic books are a good inspiration. I got this for less than five, The Infinite Gauntlet, very cool. It's probably my only DC comic book, The Astonishing X-Men. I think I paid $2 each, but it's fine. It's in good shape and it's an amazing reading. Very cool run, story arc, iconic by now, by Joss Whedon and John Cassaday. Civil War, I got a couple of issues. Very cool storyline. I really like the Marvel from 2000s. Much more adult, much more greedier, much more dark and serious oriented. Incredible Hulk right there, very vintage. The X-Men, single X-Men, I think he's the son of Jean Grey and Cyclops, right? I really like the Dr. Octopus storyline there. I read that as a kid. I have the Spider-Boy paperback, the first issues, really cool. Vintage Iron Man, The Mighty Thor by John Romita Jr., a reboot. And then some of the most expensive ones that I got, I paid the price that's in the cover. That was my first comic book, Spider-Man Ultimate 42, actually. Very cool. I got only issues that, I had a sort of a relationship in my life. I really like Dan Slott and Humberto Ramos run. Here's the cover art signed by Mark Bagley. Very cool. I paid cover price for that. Unbelievable. And it was signed already. Another 90s Spider-Man. Very cool. I really like comics, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So stay tuned to The Anti-Nerd and keep subscribed to the channel. Bye.